central France. We are around 160 miles or 250 kilometers from Paris. The circuit, formerly host of the French Grand Prix for around about 2 decades, but across this weekend it is home to the Ultimate Cup Series. And kicking us off on this Friday, late afternoon, early evening, is going to be race number 2 of the Ligier Formula Cup. Now, in round number 1, it was superiority from Sébastien Loeb. Took all 3 wins, took one best lap time in those 3 races too, so absolutely on top of this championship. And in second place, it was Martin Stoyanov, who was racing for Winfield Racing, also teammate of Sébastien Loeb, but no Stoyanov this weekend. And I can tell you that his biggest rival is going to be Enzo Riker, who has taken the win in the first race of the weekend, which is a little bit earlier on this afternoon. This is race number 2 of 3. We'll have 1 today, and we'll have 1 tomorrow also for their 3 races across the weekend. 3 20-minute races, that is. But Enzo Riker absolutely on fire early on this morning. Sébastien Loeb did take second place ahead of Corentin Thies, and that was your podium just a few hours ago. So Sébastien Loeb, 3 wins and a second place from his 4 races. Now, this is the first time in the Ligier Formula Cup we've seen Enzo Riker so far this season, only in round 2, of course. And you might think, Enzo Riker, recognise that name? Yeah, you might do, because he's also racing this weekend in the GT Endurance Cup for Craft Racing. So that is a young man with a very, very busy schedule. Loeb also leading the Rookie Championship. And the gentleman class, you've got Frédéric Boileau, who took 3 wins in gentleman class back in Paul Ricard. Walter Reichert took 3 second places. Now, at Paul Ricard, we had 11 cars. We have 11 cars this weekend, but only 8 of those vehicles, 8 of those drivers returned. 3 new faces. One of those, Corentin Thies, who took his podium place earlier on today. He's racing for TS Racing. Also got Enzo Riker, formerly mentioned, for Lamborghini Racing Car. And also joining us on the grid this weekend is Lima Alexandre for Formula Motorsport. He took a 9th place finish this morning. We know Enzo Riker won, and the other new face, TS Racing, Corentin took 3rd place. So two of those 3 new places took podium positions earlier on today. So the cars are getting ready. Quick view of our safety car coming around to collect them. They will do 1 formation lap before we get going. And on the pole position for race number 2 is your championship leader, Sébastien Loeb. Now, Enzo Riker, I'm going to say, only qualified for race 2 in 4th position. So it is Corentin Thies that joins Sébastien Loeb on the front row. At the car number 41, you can see on the left-hand side is Loeb, Thies on the right in the number 11. Then 3rd place, you got Formula Motorsports, Alexis Storkskin. He took 4th place in race number 1. 3 of those 4 guys all in the rookie category. 2nd row of the grid, also, of course, Enzo Riker in the 66. That's the 69 car of Eros Giannani. He is in 11th place, bringing up the rear of the grid. But this morning, what did he finish this morning? 5th place, in fact, for Eros. We'll have a quick look where he started that race, actually, to finish pretty high up from the back. Did he start at the back for race number 1? Let's have a little look in here before we get underway. Again, they will have 1 lap under the safety car. Race number 1, starting grid. Eros was... Oh, we started in 5th in race number 1, that's why. But hey, maybe he'll come through the pack. Right, I'm going to have a quick look. As you can see from the umbrella, if you're in Europe, you know it has been incredibly, ridiculously hot over the last week. Locally or southern central France, up to 40 degrees Celsius, touching on those numbers. We are talking super, super hot. There is the 41. That is your pole sitter and championship leader, Sébastien Loeb. We'll do a little bit of a bio on these drivers as we go round, but this is a breeding ground for incredible young talent. Stepan Suslov, originally born in Russia in 2008, began racing at the age of 11, as so many youngsters do, came through karting, and then eventually resides now in Stockholm in Sweden. That's the flag he flies under. And following his debut season in GT1, switched to single-seater racing and has competed in Formula 3 Regional, competed in FIA Formula 4 as well. And this is new season in Ultimate Cup and the Huger Formula Cup. So plenty of experience in the single-seater racing category. But for many of these drivers, it will be a new experience for them. Maybe other since karting, of course. And the man we've been mentioning a few times, Enzo Riker. Again, very, very impressive. A couple of years older, he's 19 years of age, the Luxembourger. And again, plenty of experience in the French F4 Championship, going back to 2021, 22 and 23. Also taken part in French GT4 Cup this year in Pro-Am. As far as I can see, not raced yet, but scheduled to run in that. And is a winner in the season-long winner in the Ultimate Cup Series F3R in 2024. In 15 races, took 4 wins and 14 podiums. Quite incredible. Right, the cars, we get underway officially in 3 minutes time, so just enough time for 1 lap of the track to get those tyres warmed up, and we'll go from a standing start, of course, race number 2 of the weekend. The only race we're going to see on this Friday, late Friday. It is, believe me, a busy, busy weekend though. 6-hour race for the Renault GT Endurance Cup, 4-hour race for the European Endurance Prototype Cup. Also in there, you got Legends, GT Sprint, and of course one more tomorrow of these in the Huger Formula Cup as well. So the sun just starting to go down in the centre of France. Plenty of sunlight left for this one though. Official sunset time, I think 9:21. Let's have a look then at our grid. On the front row, you have the Winfield Racing Championship leader, Stepan Suslov. Next door, TS Racing, Corentin Diaz. On the second row, Alexei Storskin for Formula Motorsport. The up-and-coming fast Enzo Riker took the first win of the day, joining Storskin on row number 2. On row number 3, Alan Orinsky-Hamansi and Frederic Boileau, before Craig McClatchy, the Australian, and Alexandre Lima. Gilles Despierre and Alexandra Batella take up row number 5. And at the back on his own, Eros Giannani took 5th place earlier on today. So they'll take 1 long lap round. It's the first corner left-hander, the Grand Courbe, and then a huge, the Estoril, turn 3, the long, long right-hander, before we get on to the absolutely massive Golf Straight. Now, if you don't know much about MAGNY-COURS, pretty famous. It's difficult track to overtake on, but there are many long straights. The Golf Straight, the first one, so after this long right-hander, and then up to the Adelaide hairpin, which, let me tell you, is a qualified, absolutely certified hairpin. An old-fashioned one. We love it. So they'll warm up their tyres. And that is the Adelaide hairpin. Straight back on yourself. Another bit of a straight up to Nürburgring, turn number 7 and 8. And the 180-degree, turn 9 and 10. Before another straight up towards Imola, 12 and 13. 17 corners in total at MAGNY-COURS. And the right left-hander, 12 and 13. You'll get used to these as the weekend goes along. Then up to turn 14, Chateau d'Eau. Another, I'm going to call it 3 hairpins. It is, no, not quite. Chateau d'Eau. You could get away with it, couldn't you? And then another long, well, it's called chicane, this, straight with a slight bend in it, down to Ligier. Or Ligier, I should say. And then the chicane at 16 and 17. Before we get back on to the start-finish straight. So front row, Stepan Suslov on the left-hand side in the car 41. Alongside him, Corentin Thies joining us for the first time this season at MAGNY-COURS. Behind them, on the left-hand side of your screen, that's third place, Alexei Storskin. He's in the car number 7. Had 2 podiums already this season, 2 third places at Paul Ricard, and 4th place earlier on today. It's also in race number 1 at Paul Ricard. Alongside him, watch out, the car 66, Enzo Riker in the red. 11 cars on the grid. We await the 5 lights. Our first race of the weekend here at MAGNY-COURS, round 2 of the Ultimate Cup Series. 3 lights, 4 lights, 5. Lights are out, and here we go. Ultimate Cup Series 2026, round 2. It's the Hoosier Formula Cup. Race 2 of the weekend. Great getaway from Stepan Suslov. And no changes in your front 4. Suslov, Thies, Storskin and Riker. Enzo Riker joining us for the first time this weekend in the Hoosier Cup, not in this series. Also racing, of course, in the GT Endurance Cup for craft racing. And he's having a little look up the right-hand side. And it's not going to be, will he go round the outside? He is. Was that a touch? Nearly. Just a little swivel on the back there of Thies' car. But this gives a chance for Suslov to start to move away already. It's a 20-minute race. 3 20-minute races across the weekend. 2 today, 1 tomorrow. We've already mentioned second in the championship, Martin Stoyanov. 3 runner-up positions at Paul Ricard. Not with us this weekend, so that is a great chance for Suslov to stamp even more authority on this championship. Still running in the top 4 as we started. Suslov, Thies, Storskin, Riker. Lap times from qualifying around about the 1:36s. And this front 4 already making a big gap on those behind. When we come towards the end of lap number 1, Enzo Riker all over the tail of Alexei Storskin. Through the complex de Ligier, up the start-finish straight. And Riker is going to cause trouble for Storskin all race long, you imagine, until he can possibly get past. He did it earlier on today. He did start the race in 2nd place on the front row with Suslov and overtook him in around about lap number 6 or 7, where all the action happened and held on towards the end. But Storskin doing some great defending of Riker. And Stepan Suslov out in front, the 41. The gap is 1.193 seconds. The advantage Suslov has in this race is that in race 1, Riker was right behind him from the off. Here, he's got a bit of a bridge in Corentin Thies and Alexei Storskin, a double barrier before Riker can get to him. That is assuming Stepan Suslov, who has been on fire in this championship through round 1, can continue in that rich vein of form. The 69 is Irash Yonani chasing Craig McClatchy in the 10. Now, Craig McClatchy not had the best start to the season, had difficulties at Paul Ricard. Non-starter and retirement at the first 2 races, a 9th place finish in race 3, 8th earlier on today, so 8th is his best start of the season, best result of the season so far for the Australian. Currently running in 7th. Purple sectors for Corentin Thies and Alexei Storskin on lap number 2. And who's this? And we've got 1 car. Wow, that is a surprise. Already gone. And that's the 69, isn't it? Just mentioning Eros Giannani. Because no changes at the front. That is a real shame that early on. Yeah, just confirming Eros Giannani, the Frenchman, in the rookie class. And that'll be his race over. Did finish 5th earlier on today as well, which matched his best result from Paul Ricard. And a 5th, a 6th and a retirement. So that's 2 retirements in a row for Eros. So we can get those issues fixed for tomorrow. Again, no change at the front. Front 4 running in order. Stepan Suslov still running at 1.2 seconds advantage only. And you feel that this might be a bit of a back-end slide for Storskin. This might be a very long 20 minutes for him. Four drivers, forgive the cliche, but racing for 3 positions. And they've got a 7-second gap on the rest of the field after this front 4. This is becoming a 4-car race very quickly. But we've just seen what can happen with reliability. Already 1 car out in Giannani. It's the 28, that's Alexandre Patella. The Plantier Racing team. Again, not having the best season so far. 9th, 8th in round 1 and 11th. Came across the grid, finish line last in race number 1. As long as he can finish, he's guaranteed at least 10th. Now, behind our front 4 in the 21, that is Alan Orinsky-Hemsani. He's had a 3rd and a 6th, and he's the car, I'm going to say, leading the second race. Now, just come on my screen for a second that the car number 11, Constantine Tiers, was not moving, but I think that's just a glitch in his tracker possibly, because he's definitely still going. And already almost approaching halfway. Now this 2-car battle between the 4 and the 10 is Frederick Boileau for Race Motorsport in 4 and Craig McClatchy, the Australian, for Winfield Racing in 10. They're racing for 6th and 7th position on track. And there again was briefly our front 4. We'll come back to them if anything changes at all. Bit of a lock-up for McClatchy. And then just a couple of wheels just touching the gravel. That'll lose him a few tenths of a second, make that chase a little bit harder. Frederick Boileau in quite a familiar position in 6th place. His 4 races so far this season, 6th, 5th, 5th, 7th. And again, McClatchy looking to find a little bit of form here at MAGNY-COURS this weekend. Did have his best race early on today, 8th place. So already ahead of that, and 3 seconds to the good on the man in 8th behind him, Alexandre Lima. Oh, he's gone. Craig McClatchy. Commentators curse, just mentioning going for his best race of the season so far, and finds himself in the gravel trap. That is a real shame. Lining up for a good race with Frederick Boileau. And Alexandra Lima in the 77 will now try and take up that mantle. But back to our front four, still no change. I'm really surprised at this because Riker has been so good. Had the best lap of the race in race number one, a 1:37.35. And we got a safety car. So maybe that is because of McClatchy's car, which we know is in the gravel. Couldn't quite work out where it was. I think it might be at the chicane. The Complex de Ligier, just before the start-finish straight. So that will be a frustration only to Stepan Suslov, because he was holding a fairly consistent 1.3, 1.4 second gap. And that will come down to nothing. The advantage is he sets the pace when we restart, but the safety car will pick them up. It's a chance for all of our front four just to mentally reset, because that has been a 10-minute battle with no change of places. Surely it cannot stay that way for the full 20 minutes. We've got to, I said at the top of the show, this is a famously difficult track to overtake on. So when you get your chances, it is take the first one, because they won't come up very often. And it will give the rest of the field a chance to catch or see the back of the first four cars for the first time in 10 minutes. They were about 8-9 seconds down when the safety car was called into action. So we'll get at least one lap. I haven't had eyes on McClatchy's car since we initially saw it in the gravel. Wasn't in the wall, so should be a fairly straightforward pickup for our trackside team. Keeping those tyres at peak temperatures or close to as possible. So there's Southern, 8-9. And we've lost two, haven't we? Lost Eros Giannani very early on. Looked like technical issues, no smoke, but pulled over at the end of the start-finish straight. And Craig McClatchy in the gravel. So fingers crossed, we might just have one lap under the safety car. And we might get, what's it, 140 laps. So we'll get through 4 more laps of racing in. So is it going to be potentially a 4th win of the season through 5 races for Stepan Suslov? Will Enzo Riker pick up his second, or will we have a new name? A new man at the top of the podium in round 2 of our 2026 season. Tomorrow's Hoosier race is at 11:50 local time. So just before midday. And again, also got tomorrow qualifying for both the Kennel GT Endurance Championship and the European Endurance Prototype Cup, with the 6-hour race, the first of 2 6-hour races this season in the Kennel GT Endurance, starting at 5:35 local time. And the Prototype Cup, they have their 4-hour race on Sunday at 10 a.m. In between that, some GT sprints. Got Legends cars racing as well. If you've not watched Legends car racing before, try and tune in. Imagine a swarm of bees flying around the track. It is difficult to commentate, I'll tell you that. But we will do our best. And if there's going to be any overtaking at this difficult track this weekend, it will be in the Legends. Potentially hundreds of them. So we are still under safety car, just waiting for a report that it might be coming in. And we've not seen McClatchy's car. It might be a 3-lap sprint to the line, the way this is going. There's no change in your front 4. In fact, no change in your front 6. The front 6 are as they started. Stepan Suslov, Corentin Thies, Alexei Stotskin, Enzo Riker, Alan Orinsky-Hermansi and Frederick Boileau. The first change is Craig McClatchy, who started in 7th and no longer on the track, which promotes Alexandra Lima from 8th on the grid to 7th on track. And Charles Despierre, who started 9th, is in 8th. We are looking at potentially 2 laps of racing because they're halfway around the track. Just going through, that's Imola. 12 and 13 up to Chateau d'Eau. Big old right-hander. Then a lovely long straight with a slight chicane bend in it, which takes them down to the Ligier corner, and then the final chicane for the start-finish line. And we are going to go racing, folks. Fantastic. We're going to get maybe 3 laps in. So as we started, it is Suslov ahead of Thies, Stotskin and Riker. We go racing with 4 minutes to play. Now, in the first 10 minutes before the safety car, no overtakes between the front 4. Riker's got away a little bit slowly. Gap between him and Stotskin. The first time that's been the case all race so far. Once again, Stepan Suslov got away well. Gap already forming back to Alan Orinsky-Hassani. 4 rookies in the top 5, just Corentin Thies, 1 among to first by Enzo. He wants to get he was earlier, over the tail of Alexei Stotskin. Riker in the red, Stotskin in the purple. In front of them, Corentin Thies, looking pretty comfortable in 2nd place. And Stepan Suslov is under investigation for a safety car procedure infringement. Well, that could shake things up, because if there's any sort of penalty, these cars are so close. Now, I don't want to speculate whatsoever, but a penalty would be an absolute disaster, because it would push him back from 1st to 4th, potentially 5th. We'll bring you more on that when we can. We will get 2 more laps in. Enzo Riker desperate to get past Stotskin. And Suslov is moving away. Can't quite take Corentin Thies with him. But that's a wonderful gap he's formed. Oh, bit of a lock-up at the back there for Stotskin. That'll give Riker a chance. Not close enough. In the slipstream as they go down to Nürburgring on the 180 corner 9. Oh, looking for options. Another little lock-up. All over his rear mirror. Goes for the inside. The move on Stotskin. No, he can't. Can he get it on the switchback? This is the closest he's been so far. They'll come down towards Imola. The right left-hander. Looking every single way possible. You don't go around the outside there. He had a few options. Moves again to the inside. But there'll be a sharp right-hander. Surely not round the outside. No, cut away by Stotskin. And now towards the start-finish straight. Well, and all the while, Stepan Suslov can just start to wave and move away. He's taken Tias with him. The 1 and 2 looks pretty solid at the moment. It's all about the last step on the podium. Alexei Storskin and Enzo Riker, formidable earlier on today. But he just can't get past the Frenchman. 5th place, that is Alain Arinsky-Hamansi, in a little race of his own for points. We will watch this all the way. No mistakes for Suslov, and this will be a 4th win of the season, no question. Corentin Tias, 3rd place in race number 1 this morning. He didn't join us at Paul Ricard. What a start to his season. A 3rd place and looking like a 2nd. This is our final lap. There are 4 corners remaining. And Stepan Suslov, the Swede, plenty of experience in single-seater racing from karts to French Formula 4. And he is dominating in, holds off Enzo Riker for 20 minutes straight. 5th place for Alain Arinsky-Hamansi, Frederic Boileau in 6th, Alexandra Lima 7th, Depierre in 8th, and Bertella in 9th. So the front 4 from the grid unchanged. Not for lack of trying. Now, I've got to pull you back a little bit to this potential infringement under the safety car by our race winner. We shall see. Any news I get, I'll bring you straight away. Because what was the times? 1 by 1.7 seconds, then it was just another 1.3 back to Storskin and Riker. Joe, when they crossed the line, Storskin and Riker, 16 hundredths of a second between them. But Suslov converting pole position into another win. 4 wins and a 2nd place from the opening 5 races. That is ominous for the rest of the field. And they will make their way through that complex d'Elysée and into the pits. And here is your confirmation. 20 minutes and 11 laps of racing. Stepan Suslov, the young Swede, 4th win of the campaign. And 2 are non-finishers, McClatchy and Gianni, who he lost fairly early on. They will come back tomorrow, I am certain. And that is Stepan Suslov. Handshake and a well done. And a fist bump too. Wonderful stuff. Who can stop him? It's round 2 of 6, but he's marching already, marching in the right direction. The wonderful facilities here at MAGNY-COURS. More well dones. And yeah, that's a good idea. Get plenty of water on board. And that is a big thumbs up. Rightly so. 2nd place for Corentin Tias. Best finish of the campaign thus far. That's the car of Alexei Storskin that did all the defending for Formula Motorsport, holding off Enzo Riker. That would have been a challenge, but he would have enjoyed that. What a fantastic evening here in the centre of France. Again, 150 miles away from the centre of Paris. I just wonder if we're going to get a chat with some of our drivers. I think we are. Let's head down with our race winner.
On essaye. So Stepan, you take the win this time. No mistake. We have a technical safety car in the middle of the race. How do you feel right now? And tell us about the race.
Good race. Luckily, we managed to do a better job than in race one. Me personally, on my side, I think I did much better race. Safety car was a bit unfortunate because I already had a gap, but I created it again in the last 2 laps. So perfect race. I had nothing to say.
You did a very good championship until now. So your goal this season is to catch all the wins.
Well, of course, it's a goal, yeah, and we're gonna want to try to win the championship, and it would be really great.
Tell us about the warm conditions today.
Sorry?
The warm conditions.
Yeah, the heat is sometimes it's tough, especially like it was in race one. But I mean, as a driver, you need to get used to it, and in any conditions. Now, obviously, it was much easier because it's afternoon. It's cooler now, but anyway, you need to drive fast in any conditions.
You look dry, so you're good.
Yeah, but it wasn't that easy. So
thank you so much.
Thank you.
Great to hear from our winner, Stepan Suslov. And as our interviewer said, no mistakes. That is absolutely bang on. There were no mistakes whatsoever from Suslov in that 20-minute race number 2, and adds a 4th win of the campaign to his 2nd place earlier on today. Looking in fine form. Not sure if we'll get to speak to any other drivers, but I hope you've enjoyed our one visit today to MAGNY-COURS. We've got so many races coming up this weekend. Of course, the endurance races, both the Endurance Prototype Cup and the Kennel GT Endurance Championship, alongside Legends and GT Sprints. And yes, one more Who's Your Formula Cup race tomorrow. So we'll wait and see if we get our presentation. See our winners collect their medals and silverware. And just looking towards tomorrow's schedule, if you are looking to enjoy some more racing from MAGNY-COURS, the Legends Cup racing gets underway from 8:30 local time. Then we move on to, you can watch the Clio Cup series from 10 o'clock onwards. Plenty of qualifying tomorrow, but also races, race number 3 of the Who's Your Formula Cup, race 1 of the Ultimate GT Sprint, Legends Racing, race number 2 just after lunch, more qualifying for the prototypes, which comes up on Sunday. But the big one from 5:35 is the Kennel GT Endurance Championship, their first of 2 6-hour races this season across a 6-round series.